If you've been feeling stuck for a while now, maybe like you're keeping your head above water, but you're also just barely treading water, you're barely staying afloat, then you are likely what's in what I call the gap. And it's the gap between changing behaviors, maybe stopping some self-destructive or self-neglectful behaviors that you had in the past. Maybe with a lot of my clients, it's around food or exercise or relationships, like the people we date, what we tolerate at work. Maybe you've implemented new behaviors that are more self-loving or care for you better, like boundaries or eating enough. But the mindsets or your beliefs about yourself, about what you deserve, about how you should look, about all of these ways that we think about ourselves, they haven't caught up. And so you are stuck because you are stuck specifically in the gap between making those changes, which you should be super proud of, and actually believing that you deserve them, actually rewiring how you see yourself and how you see the world and how you see your potential for the life that you can have. I had this in my own experiences when I went through eating disorder recovery, where I was eating enough and I wasn't binge eating anymore. And I had stopped a lot of those physical behaviors. I was letting myself take rest days from the gym. However, I still felt awful about myself when I took those rest days. The self-talk inside was terrible. I still felt so guilty when I ate certain foods, even though logically I knew, no, all foods fit, and like it's not a bad thing to have pizza once in a while, but I felt terrible about myself because I was stuck in that gap. And the gap is such a confusing place to be because you're kind of like, is this it? Like I get on consultations with people and this is the soul of the work that I do. So if you need help with this, the free consultation link is in the description of the video. Please book one of those calls with me and we will chat about this on a more individualized level. But I get on consultations with people and they'll say things like, yeah, I just don't know why I haven't figured it out yet. And they feel like it's only them. And I'm going to explain to you like why we get stuck here, how to get unstuck from it, and then give you some very specific steps you can take like in your real life, because being stuck in the gap is not something that's happening because you suck or because you're not doing enough or you've gone astray or you've made the wrong decisions on your journey. It's just that you're stuck in between levels. If you think about life as like a video game, like super simple in that way, you're about to open the next door, go into the next level of self-belief or self-love or self-trust or your wellness journey, but you don't have the key to get you there. And bridging the gap, building that bridge, crossing that bridge, and then opening that door is going to open you up to what you deep down know is right for you, which is not just a life where you're keeping your head above water and treading water and trying to survive, but where you actually can very easily float without even thinking about it. And the term like thrive has become so cringe, but it's true. Like you used to be in survival mode. Maybe now you're stable, like stable enough to navigate the day to day, but stable is not where it stops. It's time for you to thrive. The reason that so many of us get stuck in the gap is because behaviors are easier to change than beliefs are to rewire. Beliefs are not facts. They are thoughts that we have repeated so many times that they feel true. And you build your belief system in your brain over many years of reinforcement from the outside and from the inside. So if you have this belief of gaining weight is a bad thing, or being in a bigger body is something to be ashamed of, for example, which is what so many of my clients struggle with on the surface with their body image, I have to explain to them, like that belief that you have is not based in fact, but it is based in constant repetition that you've experienced from maybe family, from society, definitely. And then as it started to take root, you started repeating it to yourself over all of these years. But the good thing about this is that when you're changing your beliefs, you take the same process again. So we're going to find new beliefs and we're going to consistently repeat them, ones that fit you better, ones that make you feel better, ones that actually motivate you to become the happiest, healthiest version of yourself, because that version is out there and you deserve to be that version and step into that. And we're just going to keep doing that until you change your belief system. Now, it's not that simple. I know that it feels overwhelming, but again, one step at a time, and I'm going to tell you exactly what steps to take. The reason that beliefs can be so hard to change is that the ones that you have now that you know don't sound good or feel good to hear in your head is that they're so rooted in identity. So changing beliefs can be scary because you don't know who you are when you love yourself, when you fully accept yourself, when you don't let people treat you like shit, which is what's going to happen if you change these beliefs. Redefining identity is a huge part of the work that I do with my clients because it's actually a super exciting, like eye-opening experience. But when you don't really know how to go about that process, it can also be overwhelming. And then you layer in the fact that these beliefs are socially reinforced. Like, it is advantageous to patriarchy, to diet culture, to capitalism, for you to not be happy with yourself. Because what do when you're not happy with yourself, when you have all that negative self-talk? You spend money on gym memberships or products or weight loss services or, I don't know, self-help books and journals and all of these tangible products that make someone else money and don't actually change your belief system in themselves. And it's hard to change beliefs because letting go of what feels like control, what you know, and stepping into the unknown, therefore letting go of some of this control, it can feel really scary. However, it doesn't have to be complete loss of control. It can be stepping from maladaptive or negative or not helpful, essentially, types of control, like trying to control your body or being constantly in negative self-talk because it controls your perception of how you see the world. You can step into what I call positive control, where you have discipline and you have consistency and you have self-worth, and it actually enables you to be what the negative self-talk is telling you that you should be. It just does it in a way that actually feels good and is a lot more efficient. So there's 6 simple steps that you can take to change your beliefs. And this is not going to be super conceptual. This is going to be very actionable because I'm sick of all the bullshit on the internet that's like, oh, you just need to, no, spiritual stuff. And like, I love the spiritual stuff, but give me steps, give me tangibility. Like, I'm already feeling lost. Just tell me exactly what to do. So when you're changing your inner dialogue and you are working with what's called neuroplasticity, so essentially the concept that like your brain can change if you work it like a muscle that it is, 6 steps that we can go through to do that. And again, repetition each day. Take this in small doses and keep practicing until it gets stronger. First thing you need to do, which you have already done, is acknowledge the belief that's occurring. You're probably acknowledging it as like, oh, I shouldn't be shitting on myself. I shouldn't be being mean to myself. And then that becomes a mean belief, like you shit on yourself for shitting on yourself. Again, this is the whole belief system we're trying to change. So don't get down on yourself for that. It just adds into that constant cycle of negative self-talk. But acknowledge that you've actually already done a really good thing, albeit in a way that's maybe not the most self-loving, by acknowledging that belief or that thought that you want to change is there. If you weren't aware of it, you wouldn't be able to change it. So step 1, already done. Step 2 is let's challenge it. So you're used to letting these beliefs run in the background or run really loudly in the foreground and be in charge of you. You are in charge of how you see the world, of how you see yourself. Let that sink in. You are in charge of how you think, and you can change how you think and how you see yourself if you take these very simple steps. So step number 2, challenge it. Rewrite that narrative. If this thought is like, I'm not good enough because of how I look, or because I haven't accomplished much, or because someone is doing more, rewrite that. Rewrite it right now. You can do this in a note in your phone. You can do this in your journal once a day. That's what I recommend to clients a lot of times. I give them really specific prompts. And again, if you need help with this, book that consultation. It is free. It is 30 minutes, and I will help you with this, and it is amazing. But start to challenge that thought. The best way to do this is just to ask yourself the question of like, is this true, or did somebody else make me feel this way in the past? Or is this true, or does somebody else benefit from me feeling this way about myself? Again, capitalism. is this true, or is it just something that I started believing a long time ago to protect myself? You know, for example, for me, a lot of my body image stuff comes from like being bullied in middle school. And I learned very quickly that like if I was the bigger girl that everybody made fun of for how my body looked and my clothes, one of the best ways to get them to stop making fun of me was to be funny. And the other way was to like do services, like do favors for people, like always be of service in that way. So I became a people pleaser. I also have a killer sense of humor. So there's silver linings. But I'll catch myself in moments where I feel compelled to like always make a joke out of serious situation that I feel uncomfortable in, which is fine. It fits sometimes. Or to always be doing things for people who maybe don't need or have earned that energy from me. I recognize that this is just a belief I developed. Like I need to be funny, or I need to be a people pleaser. I need to always be taking care of other people in order to protect myself. And we can say, fair enough, that was the best self-defense I had at the time. However, I'm choosing again because at this point I know that those habits and those mindsets, they don't feel good. So let's reframe into something that we feel more seen by and something that's actually going to help us be a happier version of ourselves. So you've recognized the belief, you've challenged the belief, you've reframed it into something that is more in alignment with who you want to be. Like, I don't have to do all these favors for people, or I don't have to lose weight in order to be beautiful. Now you need to act in alignment with that belief. And this doesn't need to be an overnight change your life, but it does need to be small steps every day. Every day. And it can be the tiniest things. It doesn't need to be a different step every day. For example, I have clients who have like productivity anxiety to the max. They're like, I don't have enough hours in the day to work out, feed myself, be social, do all of these things under the sun, especially if they have kids or they have a really demanding job or they have a partner. And what I teach them is let's reframe that into, I am already doing enough. I already am enough as I am. Or maybe even we go one step further, my worth doesn't lie in my accomplishments. And I have them list every single day at least a couple things that they are proud of. Maybe it's just getting through the day. Maybe it's just brushing their teeth or getting out of bed in the morning. A lot of times though, almost every time, they'll come back to me after a week of doing this and be like, I do so much more than I ever gave myself credit for. The bonus is if I have them text me their wins every day, because my clients have me on speed dial so they can text me and voice note me, and I get the podcasts. I get the podcasts from them. It's great. But they'll text me their wins every day for a week to start building the habit, and the texts I get are paragraphs. So that is the smallest thing that you can do today, is to simply just start living in alignment with this new belief. Essentially fake it till you make it, but understand the neuroscience and the habit formation behind it. Have intention behind that, and you will actually start to notice more than all the things that you're not doing good enough at, all of the things that you are doing for yourself, all of the things that you're doing well. Step 5 is simply to repeat and reinforce. Again, practice makes perfect. I know that it's not the most satisfying thing because we are trained to want a quick fix overnight. That's how they end up selling us the quick fixes, like diet pills or 10-day gym memberships, like those resets kind of thing. Life is not a quick fix. You are slowly rewiring years of beliefs, which means it's going to take time. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Step 6 goes right along with that, and it is patience. I'm going to add a bonus here, and I want you to today write down the beliefs that you are trying to change and go through these 6 steps and start to make a little timestamp essentially in your journal, in a note in your phone of where you're at right now, and then come back to that in a month. And you will notice how far you have come, even without trying. Now that you've listened to this video and you know that there's actually a system, there's actually a method to getting out of this gap and changing how you see yourself, you will subconsciously start to take these steps. But the reason I want you to do this is because there's probably a limiting belief, again, another belief we're trying to change, that you can't change. And so you need what I call a portfolio of proof, aka evidence of the contrary, evidence that you can change. And so when you look back on this 1 month later, you will start to build that portfolio of proof, that evidence that you can change. Now, there are 4 things that you need to really make your new beliefs solidify and change and really stick in your life. Number 1 is repeated, emotionally safe experiences. So it kind of ties into the steps I just mentioned, but I want you to picture your comfort zone like a little circle. And I don't want you to stay in the comfort zone because comfort is the enemy of change. But if you go too far out of your comfort zone, you're gonna have a mental breakdown. So no mentee bees today. Comfort zone, repeated emotionally safe experiences. So I just want you to take like 1 step out of the comfort zone at a time. And the thing with comfort zones is that they are meant to stretch and they are meant to move. And so what you're doing by changing your beliefs is moving or stretching your comfort zone. If you want to make your comfort zone bigger, then we'll go with the stretching. But if you want to make it different, if you want to make your whole inner dialogue more positive, more self-loving, if you want to see the good in the world, we're probably changing your comfort zone. Like we're moving it literally to somewhere else. We are changing it to a new location, a new belief system. And so small, repeated, emotionally safe experiences slowly edge you to where you want to be. Again, you need the micro evidence of that new identity, so be building that portfolio of proof like I just mentioned. And then we often need someone mirroring this truth, this new belief system that we're embodying. We need it mirrored back to us. Again, this is the work that I do with my clients as the coach, because I text them back when they send me those wins and I'm like, hell yes. And I ask them all the right questions to really make the belief stick, and I celebrate them. And then we get on a call every week and I am there cheering them on, telling them more information like this, but on such a deeper level to really break down every individual unique belief that they have, and to also go through what I call like a past, present, future template so that they can heal from the past experiences that made these beliefs, be present and enjoy the present moment, and then also be excited about where they're going in the future. But having someone mirror it back to you is essential. Like we don't heal in solidarity, we don't heal in the dark when we're alone, we heal in community, we heal in connection, we heal with other people. And last but not least, again, it is that repetition and that reframing. So go back to those 6 steps: awareness, challenge, reframe, embody, actually live by those beliefs, repeat and reinforce, and then be patient. Just keep coming back to that. Keep coming back to that. And you will notice how your beliefs change over time. This is how you get out of the gap. Again, the gap is a really normal place to be, but the reason that you're stuck there is because you don't have the information or the guidance or the support and accountability you need to get out. So this is the first couple steps in doing that. If you want more support with that, again, book that consultation with me. For real, sis, it's free. It's 30 minutes, it'll change your life, and so many people have done it already. It is incredible the work that I get to do with others, but find someone in your life who can be that for you. You got this. You're gonna get out of this stuck feeling. You're gonna get out of this lost feeling. You're gonna get out of the gap, whether it's with me or without me. But I'm Sarah. I make a new video every week. Like and subscribe. I love you. I will see you next time.